Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's an honor and a privilege to be once again with you and among you. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, according to the UN source, 54 wars are going on in the world in this very moment. 54. And according to the same source, the number has doubled in last 10 years. So the trend is obvious. This is an illustration that something wrong is going on in the world and that we have to pay the attention to the reasons for this. The old-fashioned politics, geopolitics, is back. The power politics is back. The politics of sphere of interest is back. And this is dangerous for international peace and security. The power of international institutions, well, is very low. And as Ivo has just mentioned, this posed a threat to, peace and security. So it is extremely concerning that on top of all of that, this American protectionism is back also. There is no secret, I'm not a fan of President Trump, but I try to understand his moves. As far as I can see, he tries to maintain the strength of U.S. in the international, international community. I mean, it's obvious that China is on the rise. It is obvious that Asia is the continent of the future. It seems so. So the question is if basically U.S. could stop this, competition on the Asian continent. And I think that it would be wise for both superpowers, Washington and Beijing, to work together, not to try to, be hostile to each other. I know it's very difficult. It is one thing to say, it is another thing to do, but I think the peaceful coexistence is doable and would work for both superpowers and for everybody else in the international community. Now, I hope that one of promise that President Trump has delivered during his political campaign before the election will be also, implemented. I said I'm not his fan, but there is one promise that is, I would say, promising for the rest of the world, and this is that he would do whatever it takes to avoid to go to the war. I think this is at least one thing that we could count on in next couple of years when we will see, I think, still the rise of this old-fashioned geopolitics. Let me say a couple of things about EU. I think this situation found EU unprepared in a way, but it is also a chance for the Brussels to do something with EU and with EU in the international community. As Ivo has just mentioned, I'm a strong believer in the United States of Europe. I've always been, and I think this is the future for EU. So to be more, strong inside, to be more competitive outside. Also, I think this will be a chance to give a huge push to the enlargement process. At the beginning, our friend from Montenegro has spoken about the problems in Western Balkans. There is only one, I think, strategic move to protect peace and security there, and this is for EU to go there. As somebody knows, somebody maybe knows that I am very much in favor of so-called package approach. So I'm in favor that all 6 countries in the region would be, basically now, if not tomorrow, basically, invited to become a full member of European Union. I know that this does bother my colleagues who are saying that it is important to, fulfill the criteria. Okay, yes, it is important, but at this very moment, in this historical moment of international community and in Europe, it is important to go there and be there as European Union for all 6 countries and nations, from Bosnia to Serbia to Macedonia and Albania. I think that would be a historic move from EU to preserve peace and stability there. And being in Turkey, I've always been in favor of a strong dialogue between Brussels and Ankara. I know that would be extremely difficult to, inspire 27 countries to, invite Turkey to be a full member of EU. But I've always been also, as a member of European Parliament, as Prime Minister, as President, I've always been in favor of some sort of sui generis, agreement between Turkey and European Union. If we will see in next couple of years a enlargement process also to Ukraine and Moldova, maybe to Iceland, then I think maybe, just maybe, EU will be back on international scene as, traditional, a good superpower that will maintain peace and security. So, being always in favor of peace and stability and reconciliation and peaceful solution to the crisis, I'm not very pessimistic at this moment. Nevertheless, we are living in times of crisis. I think that the general, and this is my final saying, that the wisdom of the mankind is there, that war would not solve the problem, that would produce even more problems afterwards. So, to the strategic question, if there is a historic need for the war to change the relations between superpower, I think that everybody knows that war is not an answer to this question, that the peaceful transition is for the benefit of everybody. So, Mr. President, being one of the last speakers in this beautiful arena, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. It's always good to talk. It's always good to inspire the dialogue, and you are doing just fine. Thank you so very much.